Sindisiwe Mnguni, aged 29 years old at the time, was born and raised in Newcastle, KwaZulu-Natal, in South Africa, but was living in Pretoria, Midrand at the time. Cindy was a young, aspiring, and thriving entrepreneur who owned her own online company which sold beauty products. She worked hard to provide for her 9-year-old daughter and her family back in KwaZulu-Natal. She was described by her uncle as driven and responsible. She was known to be someone to lean on and a helper. She took care of her family emotionally and financially. In 2021, a few days after celebrating her birthday and during Women's Month in August, Cindy was having a beautiful, relaxing, and laid back day. It was late afternoon when she sent out a message to an unknown person which contained an entrance code to her apartment complex, as she lived in a gated apartment complex. It is believed that Cindy was expecting the said person. The unknown person's car entered the complex through a visitor's gate, and the visit lasted about an hour and a half. Then the car was seen exiting the complex at about 6:30 p.m. However, Cindy was seen following the car out, driving her own car. A few minutes later, Cindy was found shot in her car not far from her apartment complex out on Ellendale Road. A motorist spotted a vehicle parked on the corner of Mushroom and Ellendale Road. He went out to check if everything was alright and if he could lend out a helping hand in any way. As he approached the vehicle, he saw a woman in the driver's seat of the vehicle. He tried calling out to the woman and was met with silence. In fact, the woman was oddly stable and unresponsive. That's when he realized that something was wrong and decided to call the police. When the police arrived at the scene, they saw what looked like blood in the vehicle, and they realized that the woman had a gunshot wound in her upper body. When the paramedics arrived, they found out that the woman was not breathing and declared the young woman dead. Cindy's uncle, Sipho Dlangalala, was called in the scene and said it was the hardest thing he had to do. He said when he received the news about Cindy being shot, he did not think she had died. I thought I was going to be told the hospital she was admitted to. Never did I imagine that she would be dead, he said. He further said, when we were told she was shot, I was hoping that she was alive and might have just been injured, but arriving on the scene and looking at her lying on the ground and covered with the silver foil, I got so upset. I asked myself how a person could do something like this. Cindy's uncle, Sipho, said Cindy was still in her pajamas and her cell phone and purse were in the car, so hijacking and robbery was quickly ruled out as motive. The police then went to look at the surveillance footage of the apartment complex and spotted the car that was seen driven, followed by Cindy's car. They saw the car exit the complex on the visitor's gate and saw Cindy's car exit on the tenant's gate. When they checked the camera that was positioned outside on the road, they saw Cindy's car following the visitor's car, and that was the last time Cindy was seen alive. The car was believed to belong to Cindy's recent boyfriend, Hassan, who was an Indian man with a Bangladesh citizenship, who came to South Africa on a visitor's permit. When the police talked to Cindy's friends, they found out that Cindy had a difficult and abusive relationship with Hassan and had changed her social media accounts several times in an attempt to avoid him. Hassan was arrested the following day after Cindy's death. While Cindy's family was having a hard time with her death, her 9-year-old daughter and her grandmother were taking her death the hardest. Her daughter broke down when they had to go collect her belongings at the flat. She couldn't believe that her mother was gone, but it became a reality when she saw her mother's things. She was taken for counseling. Cindy's sickly grandmother was heartbroken and inconsolable. She was blessed with only granddaughters, and she always said Cindy was the grandson she never had, as she was responsible for her family and would support them financially. After Hassan's apprehension, he was charged with Cindy's murder and kept in custody awaiting his bail hearing. It was discovered that Hassan had a pending fraud case to answer to in South Africa. During his bail hearing, he told the court that he had businesses in South Africa. We wonder how, because he was here on a visitor's permit. He also claimed that he was married to an untraceable woman in South Africa. Hassan was given 15,000 rands bail on condition that he would report to the police station in Johannesburg every Monday and Friday. Cindy's uncle said the family were disappointed that the suspect was granted bail and feared that the murder would be an unresolved case.